Store closures in 2024, they have surged 69%. We had a couple of really big ones the last couple of days come out. Party City said, we're closing all 850 stores immediately. Big Lots, just basically done. These are stores that have been in play. They've been kind of closing down. Maybe they'll get some financing. Maybe they'll get a buyer, those kind of things. But boom, 69% increase in 2024. What's causing it? Is it all inflation? Is it Joe Biden's America? Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's watch this quick video. Party City, done. Big Lots, auto parts, brutal. Macy's, retail. Denny's, Denny's. Free breakfast on your birthday. Sears. Walgreens, pharmacy. Sam Goodies, that discount-ish food stuff. Foot Locker. Dollar Store, discount. GameStop. They still open? Another pharmacy. Another pharmacy. JCPenney, retail, close. We've got stories that I can't read on other channels because they've got some sensitive content like this one. Olympus Spa under fire over gender policy. You had a Korean spa where female only, big lawsuit, transgender dude said, hey, I belong in here. I'm a woman. No, you're not. Big court case. Yeah. And there's some just crazy stuff going on. This is where I cover those topics. What's it going to cost you? $3.99 a month. You get a 14-day free trial. Check it out. Thanks in advance. Yeah, so here's a couple of those stories. Party City goes out of business after 40 years. All stores to close immediately 5 days before Christmas. When you run out of money, you run out of money, right? Just boop, done, gone. Holding the stores open any longer just burns more cash. Party's over for Party City. New Jersey-based retailer, which had more than 850 locations globally as of August this year, will shutter all its stores after running out of money to stay in operation, according to CNN. So there's one. I have always enjoyed going to Party City because it's just kind of a fun store. Got a lot of overpriced stuff relative to what you can get it for on Amazon. And that's kind of part of this whole retail shift, right? Why would I get it at Party City if I can get, arguably the same thing for a little bit cheaper on Amazon? Okay, well, other people are saying the same thing. Big Lots will soon start going out of business sales at its remaining locations. When you're out and about shopping and you're like, that store over there has had a going out of business sale for 14 straight months. What's going on there? Got a bunch of that. Big Lots is preparing to close its remaining 963 locations after a sale to save the bankrupt retailer fell through. So they've already declared. Now they're going to try and get sold off by somebody else. Bankruptcy court tries to approve it. Judge says, yeah, let's have you guys go over to them. They're going to pay you a little bit of money for what's left of your sad, market share and your, whatever it is that your business model is. So, you've had a ton of this going on because in the inflationary environment that we're in, it costs these companies way more money right now to borrow than even just a few years ago. And so unless you're doing a ton of business, and if you have, if you started off pre-pandemic with not exactly stable footing, and then all of a sudden your community got shut down, all the stores got closed down, maybe you're one of those stores. It has not gone well, and just trying to keep going, keep hearing about restaurants. One restaurant after another keeps going down, and they'll say, we got through the pandemic, we got through post-pandemic, inflation's too high, our food costs went through the roof, our labor costs went through the roof. We just couldn't make it go anymore. We couldn't do it anymore. And this is the retail side of that we're talking about now. Here's an interesting one. Nordstrom family is taking back control of its store in a $6.25 billion deal. I like Nordstrom. I think it's a great store. I think they have great clothes. Are they expensive? Yes, they are. Do they have good quality clothes? Arguably, yes. Most of my stuff comes from Nordstrom. They're local. They've been a Seattle family forever and ever and ever. So, you want to support local, right? Support Nordstrom, but they are retail. You can get a lot of that stuff by just going online. I get offers all the time to go to Nordstrom.com. Do your shopping there. We'll deliver it right to your door, or you can go pick it up at the store. Yeah, you can do all that. So Nordstrom family taking the company back private. They are partnering up with the Mexican department store chain 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗙 and they're going to pay out, they're going to buy all the shares back for a 42% premium at $24 a share. We'll see how it goes. So they've got a plan there, a man with a pan and a plan, something like that, right? Something like that. So Nordstrom's always got options because they've always got, seems like they've got, billions of dollars. They're a massive company when it comes to all that. But, our main story is 7,100 store closures through the end of November 2024, 69% jump from the same time last year. 45 retails filed for bankruptcy, 25 retail bankruptcies for all of 2023. And so much of this has to do with business environment out there, people shifting away from retail, going to Amazon, and they're really cutting costs because inflation has created this situation where everything is just so damn expensive. I went and got new tires at Les Schwab 2 weeks ago for my 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. It's nothing fancy. I mean, it is stock all the way, right? Out the door with tires, without the alignment, it was $1,200. And the alignment was another 130, 150, something like that. So I was like $1,350 out the door. Now, my tires aren't huge. They're, I think, 245, R70, something like that. And I went with the slightly more aggressive tread, right? I got that siping going on. Yeah, you walk into a tire store and you just hear a bunch of jargon, a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and all you think to yourself, does that really matter? Well, when I go around a tight turn in Seattle and the streets are wet because it rains here all the time, that's kind of something to me that's important. So slightly more aggressive tread, I'm okay with. But $1,200 for 4 tires. I mean, it's something I already had. What did I pay for my first vehicle? I think I paid for my 1979 Toyota SR5 pickup truck like $1,500, and it ran forever. This was 1986, 5, 6, I don't know, something like that. But now I'm dropping that just on some tires and an alignment. Yeah, but hey, Sean, you get a lifetime rotate the tires thing out with Les Schwab. Okay. Surge in store closures comes at a time when consumer spending appears strong. Is it? Does it? I think all those numbers are cooked, don't you? I mean, when I hear anybody talking about the robust economy, I think, liar. So we got this spending that's going to help lift the nation's economic growth, yet cracks are emerging, with some retailers reporting that inflation-weary shoppers are cutting back or becoming more choosy in searching for sales and deals. That is totally me. I have not been doing the DoorDash, not been doing the Uber. Just making better life choices. Hey, I'm not going to consume an alcoholic beverage at dinner so that I can comfortably drive home and not worry about if I get pulled over. Am I at the, 0.08, which is like 2 drinks in. Let's just not do that. And so boom, done, don't have to take an Uber back from wherever I left my car kind of thing. So, during summer that happens because you're like, this is fun. I'll go see my son, whatever. And I don't want to screw around with, risking a DUI. I'll just leave my car wherever, go back and get it the next day, another Uber back, another $50, whatever. That's just all gone by the wayside. Just boom, done. We're not doing that. Eating out has become so outrageously expensive that it's like, what we do the other night, I think I did some teriyaki. Love me a good teriyaki meal. And there's a store just right over here, a restaurant, whatever you call them, teriyaki joint. It was $18.99 for my basic teriyaki. It was a combo, so it's got a little bit of an upgrade of meat, but nothing special, white rice, but $19, just boom, right off the bat. And then you got tax on top of that, well over $20 for a styrofoam container full of teriyaki. It was a lot. It was really good, but 2 people, $40 out the door with no drinks. And you're like, okay, well, I think we can figure out something to make at home. Because it's just not worth it to me. The amount of money spent and all this kind of craziness. So Target said last month that its recent quarterly earnings and sales fell. Family Dollar, CVS Health, not enough growth in the retail market for every player. So you've got some that are doing well and others that have been struggling. They are struggling even further. Many of the chains closing stores are those that have problems which go beyond the economy. Their propositions might not be right. What they're offering to their consumers, not right. They missed it. They blew it. Something's off, right? Their offers might not be what consumers want, and they might not have responded to competitive threats in the right way. I keep coming back to Amazon because it's just so darn easy. I can just tee that up. Even if I'm on the way home from like a Costco run and I'm like, oh, but I got to order that other thing that I've got in my cart at Amazon. I might just order that. Oh, hey, if I just order 2 things of shaving cream, then I don't have to stop on my way home. And it's, arguably the same cost. And I don't have to worry about going into a drugstore and having to ring the effing bell to have somebody come and help me unlock the cage to get out my shaving cream. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't. Maybe you live in a Republican stronghold and you don't have these issues. But this is literally what we're working with. Toothpaste locked up, toothbrushes locked up, shaving cream. I mean, don't even talk about rubbers and condoms, and those are the same thing. But I mean, those apparently are gold because they're all always just locked up, right? Sell those. I mean, it's the stuff that gets sold at these outdoor open air markets that kills me. Hey, you got any laundry detergent? Oh yeah, I got you covered. I got the good stuff here. So more than 7,000 pharmacy closures. That is one of the big ones that's out there. Retail close. Okay. You can go on Amazon. You can go online. You can buy the same damn stuff, not have to do that shopping experience, but you can't try it on in the store. That's where I would say, a Nordstrom still has a chance because you go into their store, hey, choose, try it on. And if it doesn't quite fit, they'll, custom hook you up with do your cuffs for you on the right length through your pants, whatever. So you got pharmacy deserts across the region where some residents don't have a nearby drugstore to fill prescriptions and get healthcare products. That's a big one because as our population gets older, people rely more and more on their local pharmacy, and their local pharmacy is closed. CVS, Walgreens, you just see those stores just basically going away. And a lot of it has to do with the healthcare system. Healthcare system is so messed up. Hence, CEO gets taken out, right? I'm not saying that's good, bad, or indifferent, but the fact that there's a thing online about, what was it? 40% of all millennials thought that it was okay that CEO got waxed because he's CEO of a company that basically denies the most claims of any healthcare company out there. You still can't murder somebody. Yeah. I mean, no, I'm a hard no on, you can't just literally take people out. Well, you denied a lot of claims. No. No, we live in a society, right? But I understand the poll. A bunch of kids popping off with, I think it's fine. It's okay. Here's a big bar graph where if we had, Party City, they're closing down 850 stores. They'd be right in the tip top up there. They'd be in there with, we've got big lots here. So you got CVS Health. So there's a real pattern here. You got drugstores, you got some retail, and you've got pharmacies. I mean, and like some mini marts. So you got 7-Eleven, mini mart, and then there was another couple of like gas stations, Stop and Shop, a couple like that. But so many of these, you've got Macy's, retail, Dollar General, so discount store. You've got Foot Locker, again, retail. You know, you see these at the mall and you wonder, how are these companies making it? Well, for a lot of the companies, for like the Family Dollar and CVS Health and all the other pharmacies, they're not making it. They are literally closing down in droves. So, you can say, hey, there's always going to be stores opening. There's always going to be stores closing. Yes, that's true. But when you've got 7,100 locations of these types of stores that are going to be shuttered in 2024, and you look at that relative to 2023, that's when I think you realize, okay, we've got some other forces coming into play here. And so much of that has to do with, I think, inflation, and then just where the store is situated within the marketplace, whether it's competing against an Amazon, whether it's competing against a Home Depot, one of these big box stores, because there's no way, or these, small independent pharmacies trying to compete against CVS Health, which is already closing down a whole bunch, Rite Aid closing down a whole bunch, Walgreens already closing down a whole bunch. How much of this has to do with shoplifting? I would say not a ton. It's a big story, and it's part of the overall picture. But as far as long-term business plans, I don't think we're seeing any of these big retailers go out of business because of shoplifting. They, indicate how much of their business is taken out by shoplifting. And even if there's a bunch of shoplifting going on, it's not enough to really tilt the scale on a whole mass closure, say a 677 Family Dollar stores, because there's so much more than goes into that. It doesn't help. It certainly doesn't help. And if you're a store like Target, then you can kind of, hunker down and compartmentalize. All right, so that store there on University Ave in the U District in Seattle, very close to where the bus driver was stabbed in the chest and murdered last week. If you didn't see that story, that's not a good story. That's going to leave a mark. Now, that poor bus driver literally got murdered. But there's a Target there that's a small store, and it's got all kinds of just nut jobs clearly running around in the neighborhood. And from a safety standpoint, they said, well, it's not making money and it's a safety issue. We don't want to have anybody killed. Murdered bus driver. Perfect example of that, of what's going on in the community there. And so they said, we're going to close that store down, and we're going to close the store down in Ballard as well. These are smaller footprint stores. They don't have the ability to make the money that our bigger stores have. And if people are going to shoplift, and if people are going to do what they're doing right now, where you've got these security risks, then it's pretty easy to figure out which stores are going to get shut down. And then local members of the community, they get all worked up and they're like, we've got a food desert. We've got a medicine desert. We've got a pharmacy desert. Well, that's kind of the way things are going, isn't it? I mean, we're not in an environment where stores are opening up left and right. You've got some really specific industry that's happening to, but the vast majority of stores that we've come to become accustomed to, they are not making it with food costs, labor costs, material costs. All of that has gone through the roof. And as consumers, we've basically pushed back and said, nope, not quite so much, not as much. It'll be really interesting to see this holiday season sales figures. Guarantee you they are not going to be stellar. They're just not going to be stellar because so many Americans are feeling the pinch. And if you're not, kind of aware of that, I'd say you're kidding yourself, or you've got a job in an industry where you're going to make your paycheck and, good for you. Good for you. But the vast majority of folks have really felt the inflationary, pressure. I have inflationary concerns of what's going on. So that's where we sit. Big influx of companies going either banco or just closed. All right. That's all I got for you on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.